Okay, and our final short presenter tonight was meant to be Professor Chris Ryan, but I'm not sure where he's taken off to. But instead we have Jim Jr., who's the son of the famous Jim who started Jim's lawn mowing. I'll move it on. I keep doing that. There you go. Oh.
Yeah, hello. I gather that there are people in the audience who knew my father, who started Jim's. He's still the face. It's not me with the beard. I didn't dare have a beard because I'd look too much like him. But during the latter part of last century and the early part of this century, of course, he became very famous for creating a service for protecting what people wanted but didn't want to work on, that is, their lawns. Remember lawns? That, of course, was a very famous and successful business that expanded very quickly because it seemed there were many parts of life in the early parts of the century that people wanted to protect and preserve but didn't want to do themselves, like dog washing and so on. But, of course, with changing circumstances, those businesses became quite difficult. And when I joined the company in 2010, we managed to turn a couple of them around. Of course, many of you will know that Jim's waterless clothes washing has been incredibly successful, although it's taken a while to grow, and it's only because of the water crisis that it has taken off. Of course, I also was the person who introduced to the company a fantastic new technology that allowed Jim's car cleaning to clean a car with less than 1 litre of water. That, as you know, is not doing quite as well as it used to because cars have got very smaller and there's fewer of them, so the economics doesn't quite work out. I guess the most important thing that I brought to the company were two famous things. One is we introduced in 2015 Jim's Renewables, and I'm sure that many of you with your solar panels and your wind generators have had cause to call on Jim's Renewables to come and fix those minor things. But it's Jim's urban gardening that we are best known for, and in 2020, we introduced Jim's urban gardening. Now, you people in the city, probably don't quite appreciate what this really means. For people in suburbia who lease their back gardens to us for market gardening, this means, of course, a great deal of income per annum that helps them, particularly those who are in their older age and had now to think about trying to release some of the asset in their properties. Of course, it means even more per year for people who manage to bring their neighbours into that, so that the areas that we can farm are even bigger. And that's what most people think that Jim's urban farming provides. Of course, for people, it also provides, as they now come to understand, a fantastic vista, which is always productive, always green, always changing. It's as good as the backyard they used to have, but someone else is looking after it, and that someone else is often there. And for people who are increasingly working at home and from home, of course, the gardeners in Jim's Urban Gardening provide a great deal of social connection during the daytime. I guess the most important thing for Jim's Urban Gardening is the degree to which it's contributed so significantly in the last few years to the contribution of what Melburnians eat that is now grown within the boundaries. And you will know that that we have a very successful schools program which has brought schools into the gardens. And what I can announce is that next year, January 2026, we will bring into place 2 new Jim's ventures associated with Jim's urban gardening. The first is Jim's Pick It Yourself. I'm delaying so that I can hear him play. Jim's Pick It Yourself, which will allow people to get even more income per year by contributing some of their time in the urban gardens. And our surveys suggest that people really want to do that. And the second thing is Jim's Market Stores, which will provide local markets for produce, but also for dealing with excess produce and producing it in ways in which it can be distributed with a local brand. Now, all of you in the city, you folks in the city who probably never get out to suburbia now because of the cost of petrol, now you may be thinking, yes, but this is no good for me because I don't have anywhere, I can't earn that income, I have no land. Well, just watch, because, and this is a hint, maybe you'll see very soon Jim's rooftop gardening.